everyone. Welcome back. Next, we have Bioxytran Inc. They're an OTCQB company trading under the ticker BIXT. The company is a clinical stage biotech with 3 revolutionary platform technologies that were quickly developed using the power of AI. They have a broad spectrum oral antiviral drug that recently completed clinical trials and achieved 100% viral reduction in 7 days, a feat only accomplished by one other drug in the past decade. Their drug is a galectin inhibitor that not only neutralizes COVID-19, but also neutralizes influenza and RSV and prevents it from entering cells. Now, they're currently recruiting patients for their dose optimization study, which will give them the ability to proceed with their registrational trial in India after they finish. They have a second platform drug, an oxygenation molecule being developed to treat stroke, and its development is supported by an FDA-approved device that detects local tissue oxygenation. Due to the molecule's small size, it has the ability to carry oxygen into areas of poor circulation. And the company has a third platform technology that's capable of treating cancer metastasis. Today, we have a corporate update from Chief Communications Officer Mike Sheikh. Welcome back to the conference, Mike. Always good to see you and always look forward to your updates.
All right. Well, thank you, Anna. So investors out there, you can kind of see our tagline. I'm Mike Sheikh. I'm the Communications Officer, and I'm excited to do this update. Look at the tagline, breaking the one virus, one antiviral paradigm. That's kind of what we're going to focus on here. We recently had some news, and let's distill this news down to what it really means: securing the global food supply. So we announced our bird flu solution, and I got to be honest with you, I don't think people really got it. So first of all, if to have a solution for bird flu, it needs to be inexpensive. And the only way to make it inexpensive and deliver it to the chickens themselves is to make it water soluble. And we believe that we've solved that. So we've figured that solution out, or challenge out. And when we do treat the birds, you need to basically prevent them from getting the infection or stop them preventing the infection. And we think that based on our mechanism of action, we think we're going to be able to do that. All right. So we're losing billions of dollars. Prices are going up. The bottom line there is, you'll see, a solution for this is worth billions of dollars. And we've come to you and said, we think we have a potential solution, and we're going to show you. I'm going to help you connect the dots here, because I don't think the investors, when we look at our current market cap around $13-14 million, they're grasping the magnitude of this discovery. Now, the people who are getting it are not the investors. And you're the ones that are listening to my presentation right now. And I'm telling you, you don't get it. You know who is getting it? The scientists are getting it. So if there's any investors out there that believe in the scientists, that follow scientists, then hopefully you'll realize that they're getting it. Maybe you should be following their lead, because scientists are stepping up. They want to collaborate with us. And when you look at what's out there in development, we're years ahead. And we have a really good track record when we go into something. Look at our clinical trial results, and then also look at our in vitro results. We have in vitro in RSV, influenza, and COVID-19, all showing activity and showing the broad spectrum antiviral nature of our molecule and our platform technology. And then the other thing that I think a lot of people missed is the fact that, look, do we have to do this as a drug? Couldn't we do this so if we found out that this worked and farmers start coming at us and saying, hey, we want a solution, do we have to make it into a drug? No, we could probably make it into a supplement and actually get this to market and help people and help the solution very quickly. So what's that worth? A solution, again, is worth billions. Now, let's look at the whole landscape so we can validate this a little bit. So the current landscape in bird flu is it's vaccine or there's nothing. There's nothing out there. So we're the first to step up with an actual solution. There's no therapeutic options. And the one vaccine that you should know about is Zoetis. They're very close. They have a conditional approval, basically. Now, where they go with that, with the current administration, look, I don't want to debate that. But what I do want to do is I want to look at what their valuation is. And then you'll see the value of a bird flu solution. I don't know if you realize there's 9 billion chickens annually that kind of cycle through our food chain, if you would. And you'll see if we had to vaccinate them, there's some estimates around 20 cents a shot or 20 cents, a chicken. And what does that mean to Zoetis? That means probably about $9 billion over 5 years. So that's what the Zoetis solution is. And then we have a solution that we think is probably better than that. And our market cap is 14 million. There's a disconnect. In case you're curious of what the solution looks like, this is kind of what it looks like. All right. So you see the schematic, there's the watering system. This is how they feed chickens. You see these houses, this is how chickens live. This is how they get to market. This is how they're produced. They go to those little trays, the water goes in there and they peck and they drink, or they come from underneath and they peck the thing, and that's how they get their water. And that's also how they get medicated. You see the little medicator thing there? Normally that's antibiotics. There's no reason why we couldn't use the existing infrastructure and put our antiviral in with the antibiotics. Who are we working with? Who's this University of Georgia that we've had in like 2 press releases? They're the world-renowned university when it comes to poultry. And they had a whole bunch of options, and there's a whole bunch of companies out there doing bird flu. Did they pick any of them? They picked us. And investors need to think about that. There's a couple other bird flu stocks. They fly in valuation. And investors really aren't looking at us as the blue chip choice when it comes to this. And they should be, but they're not. Okay? Otherwise, the premier university would have looked at what they're doing. But we have a very unique value proposition as well. And the other things that they're looking at, so I'm just giving you some investors some feedback. The other things that they were looking at were basically immune modulators, or the pervasive thinking in academia is to solve the solution, we're going to try to get the chickens to fight this off. And I don't know if that's such a wonderful idea. I mean, they tried that in COVID-19, and here we have bird flu. The virus loads are way higher than in COVID-19. So I'm not sure how that's going to work, but that's what we're mixed in with. And I think we're gonna outperform. Finally, you see the point about non-dilutive. This is a non-dilutive funding opportunity for us. We provide the product, and we get the data. And the government's going to be paying for it. Now, let's talk about the government, so we're not misleading people here. Remember, there's this $100 million prize. It's not $100 million, okay? It's less. You've got to read the fine print. So I'm gonna temper expectations down a little bit, but I'm still really pumped on having this because look at the data here. There's only 6 to 10 labs capable of doing this type of research that they wanted and they specified in the United States. Now, when you look at the actual grant challenge itself, the awards were not to exceed 2 million. Well, if it's 100 million in funding, that means they only expected 50 million. This is just math. They expected 50 people to apply. There aren't 50 candidates out there to apply for this. It's going to be much less. I think it might be a dozen. I'm going, this is total guess. I don't know what it's going to be. But my point of bringing this out is we have a really, really good shot. It's almost like a free pass. Don't collect, go, do not, go straight to go, it's so think about that. And then the award, we're going to find out in August, which is not that long from now. And, so that, that'll be a nice little event for us to look at and see if we win, or see if they win. We win by default. And then studies will begin shortly after that, a couple months later, and then take it probably into next year. So I just want to give you guys an idea of timing. Now, you see the picture, a lot of dead birds out there. What's behind all this bird culling? Why are we killing birds indiscriminately? There's a reason why. And the reason why is if we don't, the virus is going to evolve quicker and jump to humans faster. We are trying to push that event off as long as we possibly can. That's why we're killing chickens. Is it to stop the spread? Yeah, it stops the spread. But that's the real underlying reason why, because it's eventually going to jump. Now, if we could do something to stop this, that's worth a lot too. And the economic impact of bird flu is, you'll see there to the right, I'm just going to go to the bottom line, it's $2.5 to $3 billion, the direct and indirect costs. But now let's look at the stats. 40 million culled since December, like 6 months ago. 1.4 billion in economic costs, but not to mention the indemnity. So when they got to cull the birds, the government steps in, your taxpayer money steps in and pays the farmers. Think about that. You want that to stop? All right. I'm done with the bird flu. I'm transitioning to the dose optimization trial. We just came out with news that we finished this. Look, folks, we waited a couple years for this trial. We completed enrollment. We are super excited to get this data and then start presenting it to Big Pharma. The stock went down like 30% on this news. I don't know what universe investors are living in. It made no sense whatsoever. So first of all, get in your head that this is a good thing. All right. And the valuation we have on our company, it makes no sense whatsoever. So I don't know what's going on in investors' heads, why you're not telling friends, family, and everything about this opportunity in Bioxytran. But you really need to think about that. Now, back to the dose optimization and why it's so important. Well, I just said why it's important. We're going to be able to advance the process. We're going to be able to go to a pivotal phase 3. That's probably on my next slide, but we're going to be able to do a lot more things. Okay. And then we're expecting so now the data is expected within a couple of months. And then we expect the top line results beginning of Q3. Now we are going to work our butts off to beat both of these, milestones for ourselves, but stay tuned. Now, any investors out there that don't remember, because it's been a while, this is a little bit of a rehash. This is what data looks like when we do clinical trials. You'll see this nice tight grouping of data. So when this data comes out, this is what we're expecting to see. I just wanted to refresh investors' minds how good our data is, and what we're waiting. What we're doing on the dose optimization is we tried four tablets, 8 tablets, and 12 tablets, and we're going to see if 4 works. Just how well 4 works, and see if it's good enough. And anyhow, the next thing is our business strategy. So we have basically the Indian strategy, we have the FDA strategy, we have collaborations, and we're attracting academia. So in India, you can kind of see COVID-19, RSV, influenza. We don't want to just do COVID-19. We want to do a couple of viruses. We want to go to them and then do a pivotal, phase 3, and then hopefully we'll get a licensing seal. So that's kind of a strategy that's going on there. The FDA, we have a couple options. We could start a phase 1, or maybe we go back to them and try to find some way to leapfrog us to a phase 3, because we have this data. Again, we can't tell you that because we haven't looked at the data yet. But once we do, we'll be updating you on what we're doing. I'm saying we have options. Collaborations, we're always looking to do collaborations. This data definitely opens up more avenues for us. And then attracting academia, I'm telling you, this bird flu thing, this is unrelated to this topic, but the bird flu is definitely getting people looking at us. I mean, we're getting calls now. It's nice. It's exciting. And then our product pipeline, it really hasn't changed here. The only thing I left out here was the cancer thing. I kind of want to keep this focused on the bird flu and the dose optimization update. So I want to keep it relevant. And then finally, I looked at our clinical trial or clinical development plan for PLM. Here it is, folks. This is it. This is what we're looking to do. You can see we want to do some in vitro studies while we possibly do a phase 1B. You can kind of see that. We have this PK method that we have to do as well. So once we get money, which we're working on, we're going to be able to execute this business plan. So what I kind of want to say in summary for the investors is Bioxytran is extremely undervalued. There's definitely a disconnect. The current market cap doesn't recognize what we're doing. And there's a lot of investor fears about, I skipped over this slide here. There's a lot of investor fears over dilution. They're like unicorns. It's not happening. We don't want to do deals down here. We want a higher valuation. And there's a lot of mentality out there where, we don't own OTC stocks for very long. And some people are saying, oh man, it's hard to bring people in because it's too good to be true. It's not too good to be true. Look at the data. And then we need money to fund our clinical trial development. We are working extremely hard to fix that problem. And I'm telling you, we're going to fix it. We're going to fix it really soon. And the people that are looking at these valuations right now are going to be kicking themselves very, very soon. And then finally, management. That's us. Look at what we're doing. We keep giving up our accrued salaries. We are aligned with your interests. The only way we're going to make money is to create shareholder wealth for you first. You guys have an incredible opportunity to create, almost what I feel with this one company, you can almost create generational wealth. Okay. We are that undervalued. Consider telling all your friends and family about it. Telling everyone shout it from the mountaintops. We appreciate all your support, all the loyal shareholders there. You're richly rewarded. Stay tuned.
Wonderful, Mike. Thank you so much. I want to close with one question for you. When can we expect these treatments to be available?
Anna, that depends on the regulatory environment. Remember, Bioxytran, we're a drug developer. So we have to go through the regulatory process, and the regulatory process is just too crazy to handicap here. We're really excited about the Indian process that is happening right now, and once we get through the data, then we'll be able to tell you how quick that could be. But that looks like it could be the shortest pathway for us. But we don't know yet. You know, we're going to explore all our options. So right now, hopefully that answers your question.
Well, it does. There's a lot of interest. So a lot of our viewers are curious, and that's a good thing. So, Mike, as always, thank you. You're working so hard, and you've got a great product here. So we appreciate you being on the conference again.
All right. Thank you.